Holy cow.
Hey guys, how you doing? It's Henry at Mowers and Blowers. Welcome back to another episode. As you know from a previous episode, this 14 horsepower Briggs Diamond IC single cylinder engine was taken off a trashed, rusted Simplicity lawn tractor that I picked up recently. As you know from another video, I had taken this engine completely apart because the synchro balancer bearings to the crankshaft were completely shredded and trashed inside, which was the reason why I took it apart, because it would crank very slowly. That mimicked a blown ACR or valves being out of whack. So I replaced the synchro balancers that had good bearings to the crankshaft, and it now spins freely, pretty easily too. Now, when I tore that engine apart, I busted one of the head bolts. So actually the reason why after we put this together it didn't start, it only popped a few times by spraying ether into the carburetor, I think it's because it has a lack of compression due to the broken head bolt, because that head bolt location is a corner. So if you don't have torqued strength from the head to the block, that's where the piston is. So I think it's losing compression from that spot. So the only real fair chance that this engine has to actually start and run and be used is if I drill out the broken bolt in the block, which is risky because I'm gonna use a drill bit and drill out the part that's broken. I don't think the easy outs is gonna work, because even with a 1/2 inch impact, I wasn't able to extract that bolt. So it's really in there, and it's on the exhaust side. So the heat and all that stuff really contributed to that bolt really being stuck. But I'm gonna give it a try, because right now it won't start, because I feel that it doesn't have good compression. I would do a compression check, but as you guys know, with these engines, with the automatic compression release, the findings and the readings on a compression gauge is not going to be accurate anyway. So I'm going to take this stuff apart and expose the broken bolt so you guys can see what it looks like. Also remember, get your merch at the Moblo merch store. You'll find links in the description. Also go check out my other channel, Mowers, Blowers, and Guns. So actually the broken bolt is this one right here, this corner one on the intake side. I removed the valve cover just to check to see whether or not the push rods were aligned with the rocker arms. If one of these little end spacers came out, that would be the reason why it wouldn't start too. So I wanted to check to make sure everything was in order before I took the head off. I mean, I could technically try to drill through here to get to the broken bolt, because I didn't want to take the head off again with the risk of ruining the new head gasket that I put in here. But because I just put it in there and it wasn't run with any heat, it should be okay. So to properly try to extract that broken bolt in the block, got to remove the head to get better access to it. And as you can see, Both push rods are straight. Valves are good. You can't turn them with your fingers. It's tight. And this gasket is still good. Even though a little bit of the coating came off when I just removed it. But it's never been run. So this gasket is still good to use. The original gasket was blown. It had a mark right there. That's where they typically break. But this one's good. Well, it was new. I better put this somewhere where I won't step on it. So I'm going to get you a closer up look. There's the one with the broken bolt inside. Should I try the easy outs? I doubt it'll come out because even a 1/2 inch impact couldn't get it out. So the gripping strength of easy outs is not even close to, you know, a 1/2 inch impact. So I think drilling it is probably the best way, but I will drill a small hole and try the easy outs. So of course it's starting to rain. You guys saw me. I was drilling and drilling, drilled all the way through. It's only like 2 inches or so. So I drilled out the entire bolt. The easy outs didn't work, okay? And then I believe my subscriber friend, Ernie McDonald, had given me this die and tap kit, which I have never used before. So I kind of sort of figured out how to use it, and I actually tapped the hole that somewhat fits this bolt. I was confused whether or not this was NC or M9 or whatever, you know, how the US version is NPT, right? And metric is M9 1.25, you know, those kind of things. I just went through which one of these would fit the best and then corresponded that number with the tap thing. I'm not sure. Like I said, this is my first time. And I think I got it in here right. Look, see? So it actually threads in now with, this is the original bolt, and it stops around there. I mean, I think only a few threads are being held, maybe 4 threads, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But if this doesn't work, if it isn't tight enough to put it in, this goes all the way through. So I'm just gonna put like another thinner bolt and put a nut on the back to tighten it. So that's what I'm gonna do before it rains, downpours actually. All right, so the tapping did not work, so I had no choice but to find a long bolt that went all the way through, and I secured it with a nut. It's super tight. It's going to be way tighter than not having a bolt there. And at the same time, when I was putting the other one in, I was tightening it too hard and it stripped, so I did the same thing. So the 2 top ones on the corners have a bolt that goes all the way through. It's very tight. Okay? So I put a muffler on here so I won't go deaf. I adjusted the valves again. They were perfect because I had already done them, but I wanted to recheck after I took the push rods out. And so now we're just gonna try it. I'm gonna spray some jism in there, and then we just need this to go vroom. Remember, this engine has never gone vroom before. It's only popped. And remember, the reason why I thought why it's just popping is because compression was bad, which made sense because I didn't have a bolt in there, so the head really wasn't on very well. I'm going to choke it. It's got a ton of fluid in there, lots of vapors, it's ether. All right, where am I going to hold this? You got to kind of hold it because it's not attached to anything. You ready? Oh dear. Yes! Yes! Success, fellas! That was it. You saw that. I had very good compression now because the head is on tight, and it turned over. I counted 3 or 4 revolutions. That's excellent. So now we know this engine runs. I'm stoked. That's great. I didn't think it was going to work, to be honest with you, but I'm really, really happy that that fired up. And seems like it's okay. So this engine is rebuilt. You know, from the synchro balancer to the crankshaft journal bearings that had completely dissipated both sides on the original engine. We replaced the synchro balancer that had decent bearings, although crankshaft had some aluminum transfer, connecting rod had some. I didn't really smooth them out. I didn't want to too much because I didn't want it to knock. So I figured just after it runs for a while, the aluminum transfer eventually scrapes into spec. You know, that's my thought process. But I'm stoked, fellas. That's great. I'm going to put everything back again, and then we can attach this to one of the tractors in the backyard. How about it, guys? Rebuilt the engine, sort of. We know it fires up. We'll put this on a tractor in the back and the next project. I'm glad we saved this engine, at least so far. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember to like, share, and subscribe so I can continue to bring you small engine content like this one. Have a great day. We'll see you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers.
I'll see you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers.